Welcome back to how to graph linear equations. One more standard form situation. This is going to be similar to the last one that I did. The only difference is that my standard form is got a subtraction instead of an addition. It's still the same kind of deal. We're still working with the form ax plus by equals c. I'm going to go ahead and identify what my coefficients are. My a coefficient, a equals 3. My y coefficient, or b, well, since it's plus by and I've got minus 10y, my b is negative 10. And my c is 60. Okay, so far so good. Remember, we can always figure out what 2 points are from these by taking advantage of the properties of x and y intercepts. The y-intercept is when x equals 0, because everywhere on the y-axis x equals 0. So I'll just replace x with 0 and see what I get with y. I'm going to do the same thing with y. I'll replace y with 0 and get the x-intercept, because everywhere on the x-axis y equals 0. Now, to solve this, I get 3 times 0, which is nothing. I'm left with negative 10y equals 60. Both sides, I need to get rid of times negative 10, so I'll divide by negative 10 using the inverse principle, reverse the operation to figure out where I need to go to cancel out something. So reverse the operation to cancel things out. I get y equals 60 divided by negative 10, which is negative 6. I have a y-intercept at 0, negative 6. Now, you might have noticed that in the end, I ended up doing 60 divided by negative 10. Well, that's my c divided by my b. So my y-intercept is 0, c over b, which is the same as saying 0, 60 divided by negative 10, which got me 0, negative 6. There we go. Okay, so that's my y-intercept. And I can go over to Desmos and plot it. As you can see, I've got my equation right there, but I'm not letting you see what the line looks like quite yet. 0, negative 6. I'll show that label. Perhaps I will. My mouse is frozen. Okay, so now we'll come back to that. So I've got my situation where I replaced y with 0. So I've got 3x equals 60, because negative 10 times 0 is nothing. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 3 to get rid of times 3. And you might notice already I'm dividing my c by my a. So I'm going to get my x-intercept dividing c by a. So x equals 60 divided by 3, or 20. I have an x-intercept of 20, 0. And I'll take that point here. That means I'm using c over a, 0. That's going to be my x-intercept. Whatever c over a equals is my x-intercept if I have it in standard form. So that means I've got 60 divided by 3, 0, or 20, 0, which I already know is what I'm looking for. So I've got 20, 0. I'll show the label. And now notice the only difference in this case is my y-intercept is negative, because I was subtracting my y term. So I'll draw my line through it. And I have some sort of error. I see the error. I didn't actually put the equation in properly. It's 3x minus 10y equals 60. I must have copied and pasted incorrectly. But once I've actually put the correct line equation in, it works. It goes through 0, negative 6. It goes through 20, 0. All you need is 2 points and a straight edge and something to write with, and you'll get your line. Now, I would like you to pause the video and try doing just what I did with this equation. 11x minus 4y equals 88. Please give that a try and see, and then start the video and see if you agree with my results. Okay, assuming you've come back, you have worked out that A in this situation equals 11, B in this situation equals negative 4, and C in this situation is 88. You've probably worked out that if we replace x with 0, we can get the y-intercept, and we'll have 11 times 0 is 0, so we end up with negative 4y equals 88. And so we divide both sides by negative 4. And y equals 88 divided by negative 4. That's c over b. So the y-intercept is going to be negative 22. So 0 comma negative 22. We go ahead and plot that. 0 comma negative 22. I'll show label. I'll zoom out so you can actually see it. And there it is. And then my x-intercept. X-intercept is when y is 0. And so 11x minus 0 is just 11x, so that equals 88. Both sides are 11 times too big. I use the inverse principle to divide to get rid of multiplication. The 11 cancels out in 11x, and I'm left with x equals 88 divided by 11, which is 8. So my x-intercept is 8 comma 0. I'll plot that. There I've got my 2 points. I can draw a line through them, and it works. You should have gotten something like this. And you'll probably have noticed that when I did 88 divided by 11, I'm doing my C divided by my A, which gives me 8, which is my x-intercept. So C divided by A is your x-intercept, and C divided by B is your y-intercept.